Um, Tell you what, I'm going to flip the camera around here. I'm going to show you a couple things about exhaust systems, how that they can really help you out. As you can see by my breath, it's very. I'm not going to make this a very long video. Okay, yes, but the clutch, but we get down. Show you something else right here on this truck. That is a 2¼ inch system on this truck right here, all the way out, or pretty much all the way out, from the head pipes on out. Then I want to show you this. I picked this up at the salvage yard, and this is really interesting. This is, I have two of these pipes like this. This is a full exhaust system. Yes, those are Flowmaster mufflers. And yes, you are looking at this correctly. This does have the flanges for headers. So somebody has went to the trouble of putting this system together, buying the mufflers and then buying the flanges for the headers and then doing all this. But yet, if you look at the muffler here, they've got a pretty good size pipe coming into the muffler, and they've got a pretty good size pipe going out. I mean, the outlet of the muffler is pretty good size too. But then the pipe right there is really, really small. I mean, it's like maybe it's less than 2 inches. I mean, it's probably like 1 7/8 or something like that. That's maybe 1 3/4. But then they've got these compression bins right here, which are not terrible, but they're not the greatest in the world. I mean, ignore the fact that the welding looks sketchy at best, but uh, which I'm not complaining about that because some of my welding's not that great either. But it's just amazing to me that somebody's went to all this trouble to put together this system. See, they got these crinkle bins here in this little outlet pipe right here. They went to all this trouble to put this together, and they don't have a decent size pipe here, and that can add to it and take away. The size of the pipe can add to help the horsepower and take it away as much as anything. Now I want to also show you manifolds. Of course, exhaust manifolds are, by a lot of hot rodder standards, are awful. But these, while they look very unique and unusual, and they may flow decent at best, I guess, they're not fantastic because you see the inside diameter here is really, really small. It's very. I tell you what, I'm gonna get a measuring tape and I'll measure it. I'll just go inside here, get the measuring tape real quick. Measure that manifold outlet and see what it is. Okay, we are looking at 1.5. 1.5. Now, just so you know, these manifolds weren't used with this pipe. Okay, so yeah, and I'm not intending to either. So yeah, don't start typing and sending me a bunch of hate mail. But yeah, 1.5 inch outlet right here. Now, that seems kind of crazy when you're thinking about exhaust tubing and exhaust pipe systems and exhaust systems, especially for a higher performance engine. And manifolds don't seem like a logical choice. However, they do have some good, nice benefits. Let me flip the camera. Like I said, they do have some nice benefits. Manifolds usually don't leak. They're very durable, and for a day-to-day driving vehicle, manifolds are hard to beat. Hard to beat in quiet, Once you get them sealed up, they stay sealed up. They don't hardly ever leak or have any problems at all or any issues. Is that they just don't flow as well as what everybody would like. And that can be a serious problem. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the manifolds, the system, if you do have manifolds, you want to make sure that your exhaust system has as possible. You also want to make sure that the exhaust system has a nice, good size pipe, and that any bends, those cranks, the compression, um, and if possible, a mandrel bend pipe. Now, that most exhaust systems have to be configured around chassis and suspension components and a lot of other things. And okay, but lots of times too, they're often constricted by sound levels and things. So also emissions. So, but what you can do on your own vehicle is, you can go from, like, say, the flow character. Um, you lots of times though, even the exhaust port in the head can be somewhat compromised as well. Some people will even go as far as to a dual pattern camshaft, feature more lift on the exhaust side than they do the intake side, and they will even sometimes run different ratio rocker arms versus the intake side to get a little more lift for the exhaust valves versus the intake valves. So it's things like that about the exhaust system a lot, because exhaust out, and that's the big thing right there. Now, you can just take your keys and just toss them to an exhaust shop. Say, hey, put me some dual exhaust pipes on there, and they'll put some on there, and and on there that you absolutely hate. The thing of it is, you need to be careful. Uh, Once the exhaust system is done, while it's on the lift, if they will allow that. Some places won't. If it's still on the lift, look at it, make sure that it's not up against any kind of anything where it's going to rattle, rub, or even burn something. I mean, you got to remember, these exhaust pipes may get pretty hot sometimes. So even, back towards the back end of the, a lot of vehicles now, what kind of pipe, I was very, very detailed about this one. Laid off. It was Anyway, like I said, it's very important to make sure that you plan out your exhaust system before you go get it done. Just tossing your keys to somebody and saying, "Hey, here you go." I mean, they're going to put on whatever's the cheapest stuff they've got. Okay, and that way they can make some money. You know, and if you don't specify, they will do that. A lot of shops will do that. I'm not saying anything bad about any exhaust shops. I'm just saying that's what they will do. Okay, they are there to make money. They've got to make a profit. So that's what will happen sometimes. What you need to do, though, is you need to be proactive, and you need to do some research, do some studying, talk to some people, uh, do some looking around on the internet, and figure out what works best for you. Because, uh, you know, and don't make this mistake here. You see this mess right here, yeah. That's definitely clearly a mistake. Now, a little bit more about these manifolds. They are off of a V8, but they're off of a small V8 that was choked down for emissions and economy and everything like that. So, that's a point you need to be aware of, that, a lot of manifolds may be more conducive to those sort of conditions. Now, you could go and enlarge the port opening on that manifold and help it out a little bit, but, it would be a lot of work for maybe not a lot of gain. So that's why headers seem to be very popular in the hot rodding market, hot rodding world. But on my Barracuda, I did just such a thing. I did enlarge on the because of the simple fact that headers for early A body Barracudas are just like they're really hard to get hold of. They're really expensive, and I don't have that kind of money to be throwing out. So anyway, um, if you like, please give it a thumbs up, and if there's anything else if there's any questions you might have, comments or anything else, please put them down there in the comments section down below. And if you'd like, if you want to, go ahead and subscribe. Appreciate it, and thank you very much. And happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody has a great New Year in 2019. 2018 sometimes wasn't the greatest. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off here, and thank you